DIY gnat. In the shop, we are going to have an occasion where we need to draw a circle. So we have a few options here, one of which is a circle template similar to this one. This goes from 1/16 all the way up to 2 1/4. So that's pretty handy to have. I think this was about $10 if I remember correctly. It's been a while since I've bought it. So the 16th there, you can barely get the pencil in to make a dot, but the 2 1/4 give you a reasonably decent size circle. Next thing, you can do it the traditional way with a compass. And this one is made by Statler. Statler makes a lot of nice drafting instruments, so this is a quality item. I do not remember how much I paid for it, because I've had it for quite a while, and this would, here's my scale here, I guess that would be considered a 5-inch, or maybe a 4-inch, I'm not sure how they measure that, whether they measure the leg or the whole thing. So this has a maximum spread of about 4 inches. So you could draw an 8-inch diameter circle with it. So that'll cover quite a bit. And obviously, if you're doing a lot of projects, you're going to need drafting tools anyway, unless you're doing using software to do your drawings, which is obviously is another option. Obviously, if you are using software to draw your drawings, your shop drawings, you won't have to worry about having a big compass, but you still have to mark the material. So you have to have something to use. So this is going to give you a maximum of an 8-inch circle. Now, once you go above this size, the quality drafting instruments tend to get kind of expensive. You can get a pair of dividers. This one has a holder for the pencil on it. And I think I paid $4 or $5 at this at Harbor Freight. It's a piece of junk. The mechanism's terrible, it's stiff. The locking mechanism is horrendous. Doesn't have a thumb wheel like this one does. You have to kind of play with it, and it's really stiff and stiction-y. And the locking mechanism, you have to really crank down on it to get it to hold. So it's junky, and the finish on it's terrible, but it does work. And this one will give us, where's my scale here? This one will give us a diameter out to, or rather radius out to 8 inches, so that would give you a 16-inch circle maximum. You got this instead to take care of larger circles. This is a Mr. Penn professional compass set, and let's open this up and see what's in it. So we have the compass itself. We have this arm, which I'm going to explain in a minute, and a pencil holder. Let's see what else is in here. They gave us some leads, which is nice. The Statler didn't come with any leads, so sometimes when you buy the more expensive instruments, they expect you to pay for every item individually. So it came with leads. Something you don't usually see is it came with extra points and little wheels on there to tighten the points down. So you don't generally see that. There's one other item in here. There is a little, let's take everything out. This little gadget is a screwdriver, and there are some small screws on the legs, and this is to tighten those screws up. So it was nice that they gave you that. Didn't have to go hunt for a really tiny screwdriver to do that. So that's what was in the box. So that is the Mr. Penn Professional Metal Compass with wheel and lock for geometry, compass geometry tool, drawing compass, drafting compass, math compass, geometry compass, compass drawing tool, compass math, according to the Amazon description. And right now it's $9.95. So this works as a traditional protractor. Compass, I should say. I'm saying protractor, that's not right. Compass is what I should be saying. And it has the thumb wheel to open it and close it. And it comes equipped. On one side there is a point, and the other side has a lead. And you have extra points, so you can turn this into a divider with the 2 points if you want to. So So an interesting feature I haven't seen before, there are two spring-loaded levers here, and well, you can see that, but there is a, you can see as I move that it disengages the a nut from the thumb wheel, and so by pressing both of those, it gives you a rapid opening and closing, so you don't have to take this thumb wheel and screw all the way through it. I haven't seen that particular feature on a drafting instrument before. Maybe maybe that's common, but I have never seen it, so I thought that was kind of interesting, and it makes it a little bit easier to use. Finish is not too bad. It's not as good as the Statler, but I didn't expect it to be for the price. But it has a kind of a satin finish on it. It opens and closes fairly nicely. It's not as smooth as the Statler is, but maybe a drop of machine oil on that screw might help a little bit. It seems to be fairly sturdy and fairly well made, so I'm not, for the price, I think it's a pretty good deal, and it's better than some junko thing you buy at, like they give to school kids that are, where it's just a stamped sheet metal thing, so this is pretty good. And one thing I do notice is that there are no stops on the end of the screw. If you look at the Statler one, you'll see there's a nut on the end of it to keep this from going over the end. So when you buy less expensive implements, this is typical of the kind of compromises you get. But so you will have to be a little careful not to overextend that out beyond the end of the screw. But other than that, it seems to be put together reasonably decently. And let's measure and see how far this goes out. There's my scale. I have a scale here. So that is good for about almost 5.5 inches. So that would give you an 11-inch circle. In comparison to the Statler one here, you can see that it is a bit longer, so obviously it will cover a little more, it'll spread out a little bit more, but that wasn't actually why I bought it. Let me show you why I bought it. If you loosen the screw here, you can pull out the side with the lead in it, and there's this leg that will go into it, and you tighten that back up. And then on here, there's a pencil holder, and it holds a regular pencil. And when you put this, you put this in the bottom. Open that up, but you can stick this in the bottom of the end of this arm here. There's a little slot for it, and then tighten the nut. And what that will do is it extends that, as you can see, that extends that way out, and you have a much larger circle you can work with now. Yeah, just stuck the pencil in it. Let's open this. Open this as far as we can. Pop that open. So now we have, put it against the ruler here, and backwards. Good idea to tighten that, because I did not do so. So that'll give you a radius of about 10 inches, which is not quite double of the instrument without the extra arm on it. So you can get yourself a pretty good sized circle going on that. So for the price, this is very helpful for drawing large circles. A quality set of calipers that were that large would be quite expensive. So as a budget thing for the occasional large circle that you have to draw, this is a pretty good buy. And the only thing you need to be a little careful with is that when you put this in here, may not be able to see this too well, but there is actually a little tab on the shaft going up there, and there's a slot. And you want to make sure that the slot goes over the screw going through the arm here, and that tab goes into the side slot, and make sure that it goes all the way in there before you tighten it down, otherwise it'll fall out. So you do need to check that a little bit. So anyway, that's it. Seems to work pretty good, and for the occasion when I need to draw a circle that is larger than the Statler can accommodate, or the Mr. Pen without the extension can do, this is going to work pretty good. So hopefully that was of interest to you. I appreciate you watching, appreciate you subscribing as always. You take care of yourselves, and see you next time.